So I think there's a couple of reasons now that brands are starting to realise the potential that packaging and the product actually has. And I think that's really come forward with the move to digitalisation, where we've seen the big trend of being able to take physical and digital and merge those worlds together. And I think that the possibility has come through new technologies where our mobile phones now are able to read QR codes without having to download anything, where our mobile phones have the NFC ability, where RFID is also something which can be added to the packaging and added to the product. And what does that mean? It means that actually that transforms this static or physical item into something that can live within the digital world. And that really does help brands because it allows them to communicate so much more to their consumers. Whereas traditionally packaging only has a certain amount of space where you can talk with some imagery, where you need to have some ingredients and other legal information. But actually by merging that with the digital world, it really opens up the opportunity for brands and agencies to be able to share so much more with the consumer, open that gateway to communication for the brand and the consumer to be able to speak together, and really is realization of the potential that's there. So I think it's happening because of technologies allowing us to happen. Sure. So there's so many different ways in which it can be used as a media channel. So, for example, loyalty programs. So instead of having your Starbucks card, obviously that can be something which is a digital card, and you can enable that by clearly purchasing the product. It might be something around promotions and discounts and vouchers, and that's very, very obvious. Being able to scan and create something. It could be gamification, it could be augmented reality, but it might be as simple as market research. What do you think of this product? You know, it sounds so simple, but actually when you've got the consumer there with the product in their hand, wouldn't it be great to be able to say, well, what do you think of this? On a scale of 1 to 5, what's the best thing about it? What do you think about the scent? What would you like the next flavour to be? Would you like it to be chili? Would you like it to be avocado? And actually you've got the information there directly coming in a real-time way. So there's so many different ways in which brands can be using their packaging as a media channel, and it's just about thinking, what is it that they really want to message to their consumers? Is it about sustainability? Of course, there's a huge trend now about sustainability. Is it about education, what they're doing? Is it about education of a new particular brand or a flavour that's coming out? Of course, it's also there to raise sales, because that's what advertising is all about. But it's how you can actually do that and how you can actually use that opportunity to speak to your consumers in a different way. So yeah, augmented reality is another one. So many different ways. And then what we're not forgetting, or what we mustn't forget, is also the change in terms of legality. So is it about using the media channel to be able to talk about where things have been sourced from? Has it been sourced sustainably? Actually, you can actually find out, you know, from which particular vineyard did the grapes come from, who picked them. All of those different types of things can also be communicated through the packaging. So lots and lots and lots of different ways. Also, there's, you know, how-to videos, recipes, all these different things that many brands put onto their websites. But if we're really honest with ourselves, how many of us do actually visit the brand's websites? You know, how many times do you go to the Heinz website? I would probably guess 0. And they've probably got lots of really great things there. But here they can actually use this media channel, which is something that's in their consumers' hands, in their consumers' home, and being able to really bridge that gap in a much more direct way. I think there's lots of different examples that we can look at, and funnily enough, Coca-Cola have got it right for some things. So they had a limited edition called Starlight. Starlight actually was the ability to be able to watch a concert, a pop concert. I can't remember the name of that lady, but it was a pop concert. You scan the QR code and you had front row seats being able to watch a concert. Wow. So that's fantastic. In fact, Coca-Cola launched at the end of announced at the end of last year that they will actually produce now every single unit with a QR code on it. That's 1.9 billion units per day. It's going to have a QR code on it. So they're going to have to be thinking up lots and lots of different things that are going to be behind these QR codes, and lots of different ways for them to be able to engage the audience. But it's not just FMCG in terms of food and drink, but also makeup brands. There was a really nice campaign just just a couple of days ago for Valentine's Day, with fantastic high-end lipsticks. They joined up with Light and Dark, which was a gamification platform, a game, which allowed them to be able to sell 40,000 of their lipsticks in a few days, 5 times, because there's 5 different colors, 5 different shades. And it was basically an amalgamation of the game and the characters and the different styles of lipstick. And that completely sold out in a few days. So again, a great way to be able to get that right. There's a lot going on in the spirit sector. So whiskies, NFTs, and gin. So even kind of looking at the Web3, kind of the blockchain, if you really want to take that further, I think the brands who are really kind of leading the way are those that are thinking about how to use NFTs as loyalty pieces, NFTs as proof of purchase. I mean, some of these whiskies are crazy. Glenfiddich is about $18,000 or $20,000 a bottle, but you also get an NFT with that. So lots of different ways to be able to kind of then move that forward as well. Of course, we had our own campaign with Bacardi, which was about the rum roulette, which was simply about changing positioning. So there's lots of different things that you can do there, looking at what would be the best cocktail for you, and then sending you to a physical destination. So linking the retail on-trade and off-trade together, and then sending you to a place to be able to redeem your free cocktail that you might have won through the gamification. So loads and loads of different ways, and there's also clothing and cookware and all those other different places as well, but there's a couple examples for you. Yes. So there's a big difference between a connected campaign, a connected packaging campaign, and a great connected packaging campaign. And I think two of those things that really kind of should be looked at as the differences is the creativity. So it's one thing just to click, link a QR code to a website, and it's another to actually create an experience and to really utilize that media channel for everything that it can do. So, what is it? What is it that you're solving? What's the objective or the challenge that you're trying to bring? What's the creative way that you can bring this experience and include the brand, not just throw any old gimmick in there, but how does it actually link the brand to what you're trying to do? Bringing value, bringing engagement, using this new media channel with all the interaction and excitement that it can do, but then also the success. What are the success metrics there? How long did people engage for? What was the drop-off rate? How many more did it sell? How many more names did it collect for the CRM, depending on what, of course, the objective was there. So creativity and results, I think, are the most important things here. Yeah, it's a great question, because it's a fantastic success story for the packaging channel, because what happens is that brands can really understand that first party data, as you quite rightly said. That's something that brands are struggling with the reduction in or removal of cookies, with the GDPR law that came in before. It means that brands really have reduced ways in being able to have data. With connected packaging, they have the ability to collect first party data. They've got the ability to understand, who's purchasing their product. Is it male, female? What age range are they? Where are they from? What is it that they think? What are their customer preferences? All of that data is super, super, super important, because if you can better understand your audience, you can market better to them. And of course, if you market better to them, you sell more. But if you can understand consumer behavior, in the end, you can actually predict consumer behavior. So the reason Coca-Cola has decided to do a QR code on every single product is not just to do fun campaigns like the pop concert, but it's actually to be able to understand on a large scale consumer data, and of course then be able to predict consumer behavior.